Barcelona, I tell you,
and they're in good form, not as recent of La Liga. And at the end of the day, they've lost a few key members as well. So
always forgotten with the form of Iñaki Peña. Prohibitive favourites as they every single moment of this Champions League experience. And here they come in there. Is a wonderful scene. Great old stadium. Barca making the most of it. Barca side, but it's not about that tonight. It's about a huge Champions League game. Now the big man, Ludovic York, really. Dalasima has been the one who's really made his mark on this UEFA Champions League with 3 goals so far. This man.
Wasn't he? Saw the ball that was coming in, read the situation. I think
he thought he won that cleanly. I think the touch was just a bit too subtle there for downfield as York complains he was being held.
It's going to be a difficult night for him, York. When
astute bit of business. Malian left back, formerly of Newcastle and Lens. Jordan Amavi on the bench as well. Here's Dani Olmo. Oh, he knew the pass was on.
You're under pressure as a goalkeeper.
This season, it'll be 1 in 9 after this game. Beaten by Glenzol Cup Monaco on Friday night. The game.
Yes, I remember playing against them. They were a decent side. They had some really
to a fine player. Le Guen ended up coaching PSG, of course. Vincent Guérin. They were a little purple patch for a while back then. One of them needed to take the mic and go out and sort of challenge the fans and call for calm, and it was David Ginola who did just that, not surprisingly. Here's Koundé. Little step over from Danny. Little flicks and tricks. There's Casado. It's rather a different story. First French club to go unbeaten in their first 4. Deschamps. There's Marc Casado, now Pedri.
Now you just see Olmo just do a little, we call it an over, where he gets a shout maybe, or he just lets. A couple of times now they've tried it, just hasn't quite come.
Champions League game at the age of 17, just looks to the manner born. So many of these young players do.
Yeah, very, very secure in their possession at the moment, Barca.
Rolled through to Fermin, goalkeeper has come, Bizon, and he hasn't dealt with it. And they jump. We always say in boxing that the punch that really hurts you is the one you don't see coming. The fighters who can throw all sorts of angles. That's what in the Brest squad. Just knowing the type of players they want, knowing that they're limited financially anyway, and cuts to have any chance. Barca, as we saw at the weekend, can be vulnerable defensively.
Yeah, just lets the ball run away from him, doesn't he? Tries to make up for it, but yeah, it's a fair. Your lines. The risk and the reward is not there at that. I think it's game, set and match. There's a little shove. They nearly paid for it, Brest. If they get a second.
York diving in, but not quick enough to take advantage of that. Well-travelled French centre-forward, was at Clermont and Strasbourg before he got a move to Mainz.
That was desperate defending there from Brest. Just turning the screw now, Barcelona.
Rafinha deflected.
Well, that was going to nestle in the top corner there. When he comes inside on his left there, the deflection. Ooh, it's
Post. Barca starting to fancy it by Pedri, and they're queuing up. And somehow Brest get it away.
That was a lovely worked corner, wasn't it? Pedri's ball was sublime. Lovely weighted.
Great running from Fermin, and Lewandowski took it off in there, I think.
For that, he was having a great little run there. And the senior player just said, no, hey, let me have this.
Barca leading thanks to the early goal from Lewandowski from the penalty spot.
Yeah, they're overrun in midfield, Brest, because Gerard themselves through to half-time now. 10 minutes. Don't concede.
He's got that sort of movie villain look. No.
I agree, though. It seems a lot more than that.
Just got up to 66, Glenn. Stop.
Ah, OK.
Hot off the press. It's just over the head of Koundé. It's played back in. Terrific save by Bizot. Marco Bizot. Keep it at 1-0. He was onside. Lopez frustrated.
Pedri wants the ball to feet, but I think he's the one that actually wants to go behind and beyond Lewandowski. Energy.
Speared in towards Ajorc, who's always going to be the target. That led to the penalty. In that sort of position, clumsy challenge from Bizot into the back of Lewandowski. Get through against a team that moves the ball so well.
I particularly think in that midfield area, I've just put there the substitutes in midfield that are going to come on at some stage need to energize, put a little bit of pressure. I think midway through the second half, they had too much time on the ball, Barcelona. But I'll get through 15 minutes of pressing hard together.
More languid figure of Jonas Martin. No Lays Malou. Quality of Pereira large. They've got a few they could usefully come.
And dropped in. I think they were holding the line, the rest of his defence, but he knew that they were breaking down that offside trap.
After this Brest home game against PSV, away against Shakhtar Donetsk, and then in January, after that Shakhtar game, they finish off with a home game against Real Madrid. Just brilliant. Spin from Lewandowski. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Occasionally, everyone's human, and if the assistant... India getting through a lot of work in that midfield. No foul. Here's Fermin Lopez. Have they opened them up? Lewandowski.
To the centre forward at the front there, just make sure that that distance doesn't get...
Clubs couldn't be any more different. But what a touch that is from Ajorc. You can understand the glare, though. He does a good glare, Rafinha. Normally be the way you'd go against Barca, where possession is everything, but Seema has touched that on towards Doumbia, and he's left his foot in. And they'd rather play the game there than in their own half.
It gives them a chance to then set themselves.
Koundé.
Looking to do just that one moment, that break. There he is again. There.
Chardonnay has been magnificent. There's Doumbia. Lovely touch around the defender, and now here. Terrifying how prepared these young players seem to be. 17 plays like a 27-year-old. Yeah, he's passionate, but normally knows how to control it. A lot of pressure around this season, but Champions League performances have been something else. Very happy set of supporters at Brest at 2 down to win a league game. And it summed up the journey that they'd made. Only a goal down with 25 minutes to go.
Yeah, going toe-to-toe. I think if he just goes a little bit and anticipates, he's in a better position to put a better cross in.
Gavi just settling into that rhythm that he knows so well. Against Juventus, Rob Smythe wrote a great piece in The Observer at the weekend about the history of that fixture.
Nobody taking more than 2 if they need to.
Frustratingly for him, Piers a badge of honour there.
Referee's assistant, and yes, it was offside.
Great finish.
It was a good finish. He actually looked across. He wanted to...
Another of the really interesting things about Brest and their success last season is he doesn't owe them anything tonight.
No, he's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's been aggressive, but he's used to the ball and he's needed to use the ball, but he's aware of danger. That's why I've been impressed with.
Threaded it through instead to Fev. There's Pablo Torre. Oh, that's wonderful. But it's also ran straight into trouble. His best moment of the game wasn't the penalty, it was the... Nicely done by Fev. Here's Martin. Rises to you and you think, goodness me, imagine how that must feel. To be that good, that much in control, that loved.
But he asked for them to go and emulate Xavi and Iniesta, but my word, wonderful midfield players. Iniesta could play out wider as... against those teams, but it's a question mark about the way they defend.
It's Pau Kubasi. Largely controlled display by Barca. Never really caught fire. I think had they scored another, if Fermin Lopez had taken that first half chance, they might have turned it into an avalanche, but it's never looked. Players and crowd, but Irfan Pelcho brings it to an end. Champions League goal number 100 for him in that top 8 and certainly making it through to those playoffs. March on, 18 goals and counting. Just instalment for them. Finish Barcelona 3, Brest